That's good. Hey guys, this is Mac here again. Episode 5, I think, for my son. So, the last episode, I began how I met your mother. Which every time I say that, I think of that show, I guess. So, it began with in middle school. Best friend was Truman. Oh gosh, where did I leave off? I should have watched it before I did this, but whatever. I'm just gonna go with it. Because you're supposed to be the only one to watch this anyways. Nobody's gonna watch this, so whatever. Um, okay, so went to Louisiana, lived down there, dated a girl. Uh, she broke up with me. Um, because of some, yeah, whatever. Anyways, and so then I was working this job, La Madeleine's, making coffee. I think I told you about that. Which is a really interesting job. Really interesting job. I was telling my dad about the other day. There was a guy who used to come in and cover his table and napkins and eat on top of the napkins, and I always thought, like, that's not. I mean, I get it if you're like a germaphobe, but you're not stopping anything by doing that. But I mean, whatever. Um, so um, let's see. Okay, so I'll start. I was gonna leave once. Um, I got all the way to like Mississippi. Like I was probably halfway home, and I turned around and drove back. Don't know why. So um, more of my beautiful TV. Um, anyways, so as um. Let's see, and then so I drove all the way back. I don't know why, but man, those were some good times. Like I said with my dad, just we used to go to Whole Foods, find like a steak or a really good burger, and they had those pre-made burgers with all the different stuff, and like we do different marinades and stuff like that. Get a 6 pack. I was on another drink, but get a 6 pack and just sit out and grill, man. Fish. We did blackened fish once, I think. Drink beer and then get like a couple movies. It's always been our thing. Me and him is always watch movies together. Like we still do it, like all the time. So it's I don't know. He's my movie buddy, which my mom was the same way. I just don't get to see her as often because she lives a little further away, and that's all, whatever. Working on that. Um, but I love you, Mom. If you see this, I love you. I love you, Dad. You guys are awesome. You're great parents. Anyways. So I just reached a point that I was like, you know what? I miss home, and I remember going to work because I'd have to be there at like 6:45 in the morning. I think I talked about that in the last one, like how I'd go and see her and then show up at work, no sleep at 6:45 in the morning and make coffee and have to drink like 9 cups of coffee to stay awake. And I was drinking those 5-hour energies. And I've done all this stuff, and I wonder. I'm like, I'm surprised my heart's in good condition. They said it looks normal, so. Um, I go into work, and I I remember it was a beautiful day. The sun was shining, blue sky, and it felt good outside, which in Louisiana is kind of rare. I think it was springtime, so you know it it wasn't summer, it wasn't quite hot yet. Um, which random factoid, really got into skateboarding because there's a skateboard park down the road, so I used to go there and skate. Not very good though. I gave up on that. uh, once I moved back up here. Um, but I think I went over the one time I slept in a carport because of me and my dad having that falling out. But that's where I also, um, when I moved out with him, I was living with this lady, um, Donna, which is it's really weird, man. Life is weird. So, like my dad's ex-wife, yeah, I don't know. It's a really weird circumstance. It's just I needed a place to stay. She gave me a place to stay, and I had my own little room with a little blow-up mattress. Um, which I remember one time I was sick for like a week and stuck on that thing. But anyways, I got a dog. She let me get a dog. Well, because it was her house, but there's a little shed out back, and so I could tie him up there. And I named him Charlie because my buddy up here had a Charlie, and I didn't think I was coming back up here, so I was like, I want my own Charlie. I remember it was a no-kill shelter, which this dog is still alive today. My mom has him. I don't have him anymore because I don't need a pet right now. Well, anyway, I didn't need a pet at the time. We had too many dogs, and I was like, okay, well, and my mom's dogs had just died in a house fire. It was tragic, and I just knew, I was like, it just felt right. I was like, Mom, take Charlie, because he loved her anyways. So I figured it would, something to help with her losing her dogs, and so I gave her Charlie and Luna, but she was, anyways, I got Charlie, and that was my buddy, man. I used to drive around Louisiana all the time with him in the car, like sitting beside me. Of course, I'd be, smoking. Um, anyways, as a dog went through a lot with me. So, anyways, I'm moving back in with my dad. Go to work one day. It's a beautiful day. Sun is shining, and I don't know. I was like cleaning tables. And the night before, I'd gotten drunk and called my brother and was like talking about how much I missed it here and stuff. It's like I'm probably gonna come back home, but it'd probably be a little while. I gotta save up money. But I had already been saving up money. I had like $1,000 saved up because me and my dad were talking about moving into a new apartment. It was pet friendly. It was a better neighborhood because the neighborhood we lived in was just crap, man. Like I walked out one time and like these guys are yelling, "Yo, we fuck white boys," and shit. Like, I mean, just like, oh, I'm sorry. It's for my son, and I'm using stuff. I'm sorry. And this is why I'm a terrible dad. This is why I'm a terrible dad. I'm sorry that you got me as a dad, but it was a bad neighborhood. Okay, so well, it wasn't so much that it was a bad neighborhood. It just there was a couple bad eggs. You know what I'm saying? There's some other really nice. Other people were really nice. Um, but there was it, and then I'm gonna say there's some of them like the guy across the street. I think he was like a little bit racist, which whatever. I don't know. I don't see color, man. But it's still a problem in this world today. Hopefully you guys figure it out. Hopefully my generation figures it out too. I mean, we're getting to the age now. Maybe we can put an end to that, but that's not this part of this story. That's the world's problems. The basis of it was I was just tired of living there, so I had saved up money. We were gonna move out, but I go to work the next day, and I'm just sitting there and I'm washing tables, and I just was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going. I was literally in the middle of washing a table, and I just walked out the door. Remember, I still had my rags, my apron, I had everything. I had everything. I stole their rags or whatever that means. Um, I had these little chef pants and the little chef hat thing. Yeah, those whatever you call those things, berets or whatever. Because it's like a French cafe. But anyways, I walked out, man. I left and I went to the house. And I started throwing my stuff in a basket, took it down in my car. My dad was home, which he wasn't at work because he wasn't feeling good. Um, and so, but he didn't know. I just packed all my stuff because he was in the bed, not feeling good, and I just would packed everything that I could, my guitar, amp, and a bag of my clothes, Charlie's food bowl, water bowl, whatever, or I just whatever I could fit, and I just put it in my car and I took off, man, and I just drove. I just drove. Of course, it's probably like 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, So, and I just kept going. And I was like, I'm going home, man. I'm done. And it was a beautiful day. I remember because I used to have this little iPod Nano, and I had it playing, man. So I listened to Alice in Chains and Old Crow Medicine Show like the whole way here. Stopped at a rest area. I had Charlie, but I didn't want to leave him in the car. And he had to go to the bathroom. So they had a security guard, which was weird at a rest area. I think it was close to a state line or something, because normally I had never seen a security guard at one. I don't know if it was just a certain time, like I don't know, whatever, certain one. I don't know. And I was like, dude, can you watch my dog? I've got to use the bathroom really bad. So I go and use the bathroom. It was really nice. But tied him to a tree and everything. I was like, all you have to do is just watch him. He'll just chill there. So get back in the car, of course, and drive all the way here, man. So I get into town. Um, I'm trying to think. Did I stop on that? No, I think on the trip back, I don't think I stopped. No, I think I did. No, wait. I think I did stop. And there's at a hotel. I can't remember. Because I had enough money, and I was like, I'll just stay at this hotel and make it a 2-day trip. Uh, yeah, because I think I did, and I snuck Charlie into a hotel room. So long ago, I think. Anyways, I get into town, and I stay with my friend Ian for a couple days. I'm like, man, I just came back in from Louisiana. Is it cool if I just stay here a couple days? Of course, we partied and all that. And finally, I was like, all right, see my mom, because my mom, nobody knew I was here, and nobody knew that I had left, except for I told my dad. He's like, are you gone? Which he's like me, he's a rambling man, he gets it. And I was like, yeah, man, I just had to leave. It was time. And so finally, I show up at my mom's house, and I'm like, I roll up in the driveway, and she comes walking out the door. And the first thing, because I had it planned, I was like, so what's for dinner tonight? And she's, oh my God, um, and so then I started, living back with my parents, and started hanging out with, my buddy Lee. He used to come over and we played I remember because I still have my PlayStation, so this was when Black Ops 2 was out, so we played Black Ops and drink together. I think this was around the time that we got drunk and wrestled in the pool or something like that. No, that was before Louisiana. Um, I'm gonna have a video dedicated to him, so I will talk more about him later. Um, because this is about me meeting your mom. So, um, I back in town and stuff, and trying to find a job, but it's hard to find. Trying to find one worth getting. Because I didn't want to go back to fast food. I'm so used to making the money I was making down there, but I didn't want to do food anymore. So I didn't go into serving. So, but I'm just doing my thing. And my dad would send me money, because he had a really good job, and I was blessed, and he would send me money to survive on until I found a job. It wasn't like a forever thing. It was just since he was like, and plus I had saved up money, so I had money to live off of. I think he was still sending me money. I don't know. He at one point in time he was sending me money to live off of because he was like, I get it. But here's some money, just a little extra cash. It wasn't like $100 here and there, just to live, just to, you know, have gas and pay for my car insurance. So, I was blessed, okay? I was blessed. And I hope I can do that for my son, and people are like, you gotta teach him, No, that helped me and kept me from maybe being, out of trouble. I don't know. But anyways, um, so I started talking to one of my old friends. Started talking to Truman. I'm not saying over messaging or whatever, and somehow ended up talking to his sister over Facebook. I don't know how it happened. We just became Facebook friends. We started talking. We started messaging, and I remember I think I talked to Lee about it and stuff. It was weird, but we talked and we talked. I mean, it just was like it flowed. It was goofy, talking about just weird stuff, poop. Uh, you know, um, she'll know what I'm talking about. Um, and I just, um, so I had one day, and so I started talking. I was talking to her, but not like, I mean, not like a date thing. You know what I'm saying? We were just talking. So I know got to use the right verbiage or the wordage here because that makes it sound like, oh, we were talking. Yep, no, we weren't. We were actually just talking, just talking, and it was a great conversation. Um, but I mean, it was great. It was good. Anyways, so come down to like this like crossroad in my life because I had also been talking to one of my old friends, Lee's sister, Kat, and I had set up to hang out with her one night. I was like, hey, you want to hang out? Not. And again, this isn't like date thing. It's just like a hangout because she was one of my friends growing up. I used to go over to her house all the time, and so I just was wanting to hang out with her. But she flaked on me. So if she ever sees this, you flaked on me, and you do that a lot. But whatever. Or she did that a lot. But whatever. I don't care. I'm past that. I don't know. Maybe she thought I was trying to date her. I don't know. I don't. I don't know. I don't know. It's a weird point in my life. But I had set up to hang out with her. But I don't think she. Anyways, she didn't have time to flake. I flaked at first, but she never answered me back. So technically, yeah, whatever. Anyways, I'm getting caught up in the details. So, anyways, I go to set up with hang out with her, but I end up talking to Truman, and I'm like, and he's like, I'm seeing what he's doing, and he's like, gonna, oh, I'm staying party with my parents tonight. And I said, oh, I want to party with your parents. And he's like, well, why don't you come over? Why don't you come party? And I was like, okay, why not? So I ended up going over to their house, and we got really drunk on Jim Beam Devil's Cut, I think it was. That was nice. So I passed out on the porch. Just we call it the November spread. That picture is probably alive somewhere. Truman's probably got it. So if you see a bear's a picture of your dad, ask Uncle Moo Moo about the November spread. And because I'm sure this won't make sense to you until you're older anyway, so whatever. But yeah, and so I went and hung out with him that night, and that started a long series of me going over there like pretty much every weekend and hanging out with them. It was it was funny because I was also messaging his sister. We had talked that day. She didn't know I was gonna be there, and all of a sudden I show up, and she was like, "What are you doing there?" I'm like, "Oh, Truman invited me to hang out," and it was, it's kind of awkward, I guess, whatever. And I think it was her and Sierra there, and so then Truman finally showed up, and then we partied that night, November spread. I'm gonna end that here. So this is gonna be a more than a 2-part series. Again, it's gonna be How I Met Your Mother, and we're getting there. The next video, I'm going to continue on with, because this is the next turning point of, I guess, how we met, and get more into that. But otherwise, I love you, son. I love you guys. And this is for my son. All right, bye.